Hey Raiders, it's Madmaxed here. Today we're going to be going over ColdHeart, the very best rare in the game that is. And she's a void rare champion. Now, this is the way I build her, and it works really great. It works great for Spider 20 and it works great for Fire Knight. This is the main two dungeons that people have trouble with. Now, as you notice, I don't even have this one maxed out, and I probably should because, I might accidentally get a crit damage on it at 16, but, not much odds of that. But anyway, now, you want two pieces of Perception gear which is what these are. And the reason is because you're wanting the accuracy. You got to get above 200 accuracy for a 20 level dungeon. If you don't, your debuffs are not going to stick. Alright, the next thing is I got 4 pieces of reflex. Well, why I've got 4 pieces of reflex is because I got a 40% chance of a cooldown for any attack. Well, there's 4 attacks in our A1, so I've got a good chance this thing may cool down 1. May not cool down any, but it may cool down 1, may cool down twice. So, and I've seen it do that. I've seen it cool down, where I've seen it cool down twice, and I've seen it do it again on the next one, and, then I'm up with a Heart Seeker again. Now, as you'll look, I've got 24k worth of hit points. The attack's not important on her. I would rather have higher defense than the attack, because I would rather keep her alive longer. I'd rather have more defense, more HP. Her speed is 172. You've got to get above 170 on Spider 20, because if you don't, the little spiders are at 170. And they're going to hit you before she attacks, and you don't want to do that. Alright, so the crit rate is at 68%, which is actually 8% more than we need, because the skill gives you an extra 30%. So that gives you a 108% chance, which is more crit rate than you need. We've got, I'd rather have the other 8% in the crit damage. Well, the crit damage is at 232. And I'd rather have it higher, because the higher this crit damage is, the more damage she's going to do. Her resist, we're not worried about, because we're not going to get hit by it. She's not the wrong affinity. We're going to use somebody with the wrong affinity in there. Alright, her masteries. Let's go over those. So, we always choose on any kind of nuker. It's always going to be crit rate, more crit damage, and we're going to get down here at the bottom, and more crit damage. Okay? Now, the other ones aren't as important. They give you a little bit more damage, but not great. Now we got the accuracy here, more accuracy there. When we come down, the one that we really want is Circle of Magic, because there's a 5% chance it's going to do a cooldown on a random skill. Well, the only random skill we're going to have is Heart Seeker, and that's what we want the cooldown to be on. I really like the 15% extra bonus to all the gear. That really helps a lot. And then we got an increased chance of placing debuff in the skills of artifacts for 5%, which doesn't hurt at all. Alright, so, but those are the main important masteries, are those, that we want on her, because we want the cooldowns, and we want the extra crit damage. Alright, so now, when we go in, and we're going to watch her in some of the dungeons. Now, there are 4 dungeons, basically. They count Minotaur as one, but Minotaur is not hard to get through. She's good in it. She's really good in Spirit Keep, because if anybody ever plays Spirit Keep, they know she heals up by 50% every turn. You start getting into the high level one, where, you want to be able to farm level 20, where you're either going to get the Spirit Pot, or you're either going to get the Spirit Pot, or you're going to get the Greater One. Those are the two you're going to want. And so you got to farm this, and and these things, as everybody knows, the spirit pots, even in the last dungeon on 20, it doesn't show up a lot. But you will get a lot of the other ones that you can turn into it, but it costs you coins, and coins are hard to come by. Alright, so she's really good there, because she manipulates the turn meter there. She also has that heal reduction, where she's got a block debuff for 2 turns, but when that wears off, she hits that heal reduction and she drops quick. It makes it very easy. Now, people have trouble with Spider like crazy. I mean, everybody has trouble with Spider. And I've got a easy Spider team, easy runs under 1 minute. Now, it's going to be a little bit longer than that because I'm going to slow this down. Alright, so we're going to start up. And I'm going to slow it down for you. Now, this is a full auto team. First thing he does is he heals and he places the poison everywhere. Thalion's going to come up and you see how little damage she does. But she weakens and she drops the defense. Now look how much ColdHeart did. Over 25% of the damage. Okay? That's some good damage. But he's the major damage dealer, because he lit everything up, and the burn does 3% for each one of these little spiders twice. So that's 60% of the spider's damage. So between ColdHeart and him, that's 90% of the damage. But the reason he got the other 30% because she knocked the turn meter all the way back down. And if it hadn't been for that, these burns wouldn't go off twice. Now, Thalion will knock the turn meter down by 4%, which is not much. Now, if we can keep it from healing, if it'll go through and do all these burns, it'll drop the very first time. So the little spiders come out and it'll keep the turn meter from going, but we got 2 more burns, but no, see, it healed up. The turn meter went too fast. But now, we just wait, and maybe we'll get another Heart Seeker, and we did, 1.8 million. And the Heart Seeker came back up really fast because it's usually 4 turns, and it came up because we used Reflex when we used that ability. Now we got a defense banner, which is garbage, so we'll sell it, and we just made 52k worth of coins off a piece of garbage, and plus the 9k there, we made over about 63k worth of coins from one little run that took about a minute to do if I had not slowed it down and I just left it full auto. I mean, but ColdHeart's vital for that, because if you don't do that, then you don't get both burns off the first time. So it's going to heal almost completely back up, and then it's going to take you forever. I mean, it's if you don't die through it. But ColdHeart's a vital piece of this. The next one we're going to look at is Fire Knight. She's really great in Fire Knight. She's one of the best ones to do. And Fire Knight's a long dungeon. It's always about a 6-minute run. I mean, it's just, this is a full auto team. I mean, so I've got 45 from the clan or the autos, so if I ever want to run Fire Knight, I just let it run overnight while I'm asleep, or like I'll start it and I'm out, maybe cutting grass or doing something else, but I'm not here, because this thing never fails, and and I can just let it turn on and I can sit down and let it run. But when you're talking about 45 runs, and they're 6-7 minutes apiece, that's still, a long time, 5 or 6 hours to do this. So, but it doesn't matter because it's a full auto team. You can do it while you sleep, get up the next morning, you got 45 runs on Fire Knight. But it's never going to fail, ever. Now, you need guys that have multiple hits on their A1. Arbiter doesn't have that, but Arbiter increases the attack. She will sit down and she will pick anybody up that dies, And she speeds everybody up, not only with her aura, but she also speeds everybody up, with when the attack comes, she increases her turn meter. Which, anything that speeds it up helps in this game. So we're a minute and a half in, and we just now got through the first wave. I mean, these things got a lot of hit points that, they take a while to die. Now, Bad L is going to do a lot of damage here. I mean, he's great to have in this. He's great to have in Doom Tower. He does a lot of damage because he does a lot of poison. He has reflex on, just like ColdHeart does. So that malice comes up all the time. So, that cooldown's less, and he can stack more poison. The more that poison he stacks, the quicker it goes down. I love poison because poison does 5% of their health. He's already got them stacked up there's 2 stacked up, and he's probably finna stack another one up. And so there it goes. So that's 20% of their health for 2 turns. So, that's 40% of their health, that he's already got stacked up. And he's good in anything. Now, ColdHeart's going to be vital when we get to the boss, though. Because the boss is behind the shield, and he's got 10 hits that he has to take to get him out of the shield. Well, Bad L only does 1 hit with that A1. His poison doesn't even count as a hit. So it doesn't even activate so it doesn't even count as a hit. It just heals your guys, removes any debuffs, and places 2 stacks of poison on them. See, these guys are almost dead. Well, as soon as they could take a turn, they would be dead because, the poison. Now, we're almost to the boss at 3 minutes and a little over 3 minutes and something. It'll probably be about 3:30 when we get to the boss. But this thing never fails. That's the nice thing about it. I mean, and an auto 20 Fire Knight that never fails, that's what you're looking for. And 3 minutes and 27 seconds, and we're at the boss. We're not in sync. I hope we get in sync, but we may not. Now, see, she just used her thing, her Heart Seeker, which is, if we were manualing this, we wouldn't do that. We would have hit the 4 shots. Now we're going to break them out quick because the counter came from Skull Crusher. And so, see, the turn meter doesn't even get boosted up till now. Well, that's because the counters don't count as hits. They don't count toward the turn meter. So, now we got 100% heal reduction from ColdHeart. So when he goes behind his shield, he can't heal up. And I've seen people sit here for 20, 25 minutes trying to kill this on level 20. Well, why? Because they don't have a heal reduction on it. They don't have somebody to manipulate the turn meter. Now, when we break him out and we get the Heart Seeker up, right there, see all the damage we did, plus we knocked the turn meter down. So now we can beat on him. And we can keep knocking his health down. And Bad L will stack up some more poison, but he can't heal. And then the poison is going to take effect while, and see, his health dropped a little bit more. Poison doesn't really work really well on Fire Knight because it should have dropped way more health than it did, but it does do some damage and it does help. So we're out again. We got Heart Seeker again, see. The reason we got Heart Seeker again so quick was because, we've got the reflex and the masteries. But we're at 5 minutes and 27 seconds already, and we're about 2/3 the way through. But we got another Heart Seeker up again. I mean, that's what reflex does for you. That's what the masteries do for you. You get a lot more Heart Seekers, you get a lot more damage, and you're able to go quicker. I mean, I know a lot of people 20-minute runs on these, and that's an incredibly long time. I mean, if you got 40 runs at 20 minutes, that's 800 minutes. I mean, that's 12 hours, over 12 hours to do, 40 runs. That's way too long. this is still, to me, it's too slow, but but still 6 minutes 17 seconds, and we're finished. And we got a helmet that is a crit damage helmet, which is fairly nice, but it doesn't have speed in it, so it gets sold. But that's how you use ColdHeart, and that's where you want to use her at. I mean, these. I mean, when you look, there are literally three crucial dungeons that you want to use her in. I mean, you want to use her in Fire Knight, you want to use her in Spider, and you want to use her in Spirit Keep. Because without that, if you don't use her in Spirit Keep, you're going to have to find somebody who has 100% heal reduction. And, and you can manipulate her turn meter in Spirit Keep. She is wonderful in Spirit Keep. And, and while working on two different teams, when you've got a rare I got ColdHeart probably the first couple months I played the game. I got lucky. And I know a guy in my clan, he's been playing for a year and a half, still ain't got one. But I've got ColdHeart on this account, and I got an alt account, and they're on both of them that I pulled. And, and the thing about a rare is much easier to book earlier, because when you look at events, they all give rare books. When you look, like the Summon Rush, which is easy to do, you get a rare book from it. When you do the Fusion Warm Up, you're going to get rare books in it. Everything gives you rare books. And it's easy to book your rares out. And, the only thing you're going to book out when you start this game is, your starter champ and a ColdHeart if you get one. But ColdHeart is an exceptionally good champ. She's right up there almost with any kind of legendary. I mean, she's well beyond, like, some of the epics, especially in those dungeons. I mean, so that's how you book her, that's how you gear her, that's how you master her. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And remember to give it a thumbs up and a like. And subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching.